Hey guys, my name is Jake Ricks, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you the exact strategy to go viral. So, as you can see, I've got everything that you need written out here in order for you to go viral within the next 3 weeks. So, let's get straight into it. So, step one, arguably the most important thing. I don't know if you've heard rich people talking about how important it is to choose the right vehicle when you're trying to get rich. And what they mean is, choosing the best business model possible that's actually going to help you get rich. If you choose a shit business model, then it's going to take you a long time and it's going to be much harder to make a lot of money, no matter how hard you work. But you could choose the best business model and then not have to work that hard and get rich fairly quick. So this is the same concept. So how do you find that perfect vehicle, or how do you find the best niche? So there's a few things that come that we have to look at when we're finding our niche, and that is to be specific. If it's specific, it will be easier to build a returning audience. This means long term, you will find it much easier to go viral the more you post, as you will constantly get positive interaction from your following. So there's not really much to expand onto that. But what that means is if you choose a very specific niche, it's going to be easier to build a returning audience. Now, why is that? That is because if you have a very niched down niche. So let me give you an example. Let's say someone's doing motivation, but another person is doing David Goggins. Motivation is a lot more broad, whereas David Goggins is a specific person in the motivational niche. Therefore, the person that is doing David Goggins is going to find it way easier to find his target audience and because he's going to be consistently posting the David Goggins content, everyone that follows him is going to be interested in every single thing that he posts. Whereas if you have someone that is posting in the motivational niche, and their niche is just motivation and no more specific than that, then one time they might post a video of David Goggins and they might get David Goggins fans following them. But then another time they might post someone like Chris Williamson, and those people that just followed from David Goggins might not be interested in that post at all, which is going to give that account negative interaction. So that's what we mean when we say be specific. So yeah, I've actually put here, instead of doing motivation, do a specific motivational speaker, such as David Goggins. Ensure it's a large niche. The more views and more viral the niche, the better. And I've also put being saturated is a myth. A lot of people underestimate the virality of a niche. Like, well, that's as simple as it can be put. Don't underestimate, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to get too specific because I'm going to limit the potential of the amount of views and the followers I can get. But that's bullshit. That's lies, right? Most of the time, even if you go super specific, you still have the potential to get millions and millions of followers if your content is good enough. And the thing that completely disproves anyone and everyone that says, uh, don't go too specific because it's going to ruin the potential of views and followers that you can get. The thing that disproves that is content creators. Someone like KSI comes along. He isn't even a niche. He created his own niche, Then he became a big niche himself. There was a point where he only had one subscriber. His niche had one view. But now, how many views does it have? So many. So don't get caught up in, oh, this is too specific, so I'm not going to get that many views. That is lies. But at the same time, you do want to try and go for a specific niche that is extremely viral, because if it is extremely viral, then it's going to be much easier for you to go viral with. So you can research the niche on all platforms and look at the views of the hashtags and the most viral videos. Then check the largest accounts in the niche, just to give yourself an idea of the performance of that niche. Ensure there's lots of raw content in places such as YouTube for you to find clips from and edit. So obviously you don't want to choose a niche and then there'd be no raw content for you to get and edit. You want to ensure that the niche or the content that you've chosen to do, there's going to be lots of it out there for you to clip up and for you to make videos of in the future. And one bonus, this isn't a must, but still uploading content is good so that you can then be first to certain videos. You could be first to upload in certain clips, which of course, if you're the first person to upload a certain clip from a certain creator, like let's say Joe Rogan posted 2 minutes ago, you go on his podcast and you find a clip 6 minutes in, you're the first person to clip that part up and post it, then the platforms are going to massively boost that video because they can read it and recognize it as this has never been posted before. And obviously also the uniqueness just of people seeing that clip and it's like, I've never seen this before, so they're going to be much more likely to want to watch it to find out what it is. So next we have step 2, creating social media accounts. And as I've put here, this is so important for a high viewer to follower conversion rate. So what that means is the difference between getting 100k views and 1,000 of those people following you, or getting 100k views and only 50 of those people following you. So firstly, of course, create an email or use one you already have. If you need a new one, I recommend Gmail as it's super easy and quick to use. That's just personal preference. I'm sure you know how to create an email. And if you don't, you can just search it up on YouTube. So next, make an account on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. So username, bio, and profile picture will be the same across all platforms. There's a few reasons for this. This builds a brand presence so that when people see your content, they will go, that's whatever your name is. Now, profile picture should portray your username in an image form as clearly as possible. If you're doing a certain person, just use a picture of said person. So if you're doing Joe Rogan, just do a picture of Joe Rogan. For a profile picture, it's similar with editing. You're not aiming to make it look pretty. The aim is just to, as clearly as possible, portray the content that you're creating and an image form of the username and just the clearest possible image of those things. So when someone looks at your profile picture or the image in your profile picture, they instantly know that you're going to be posting that content, and without even looking at your username, they can guess what the username would be. And then for the username, you want a unique but clear name for your niche/content. The username should be clearly relevant and give a clear idea of the content that you will be posting, but it should also be unique. To be unique, you can simply add a word on the end that is relevant to your niche. For example, Rogan Wisdom, Goggins Discipline, Jocko underscore Army, just anything like that. So a unique but clear name for your niche / content. And once again, like the profile picture, the username should clearly portray the content that you're posting. So when someone reads your username, they don't even need to look at your profile. They just instantly know what content you're going to be posting. Which, if you see Rogan Wisdom, you know that's going to be Joe Rogan content. If you see Goggins Discipline, you know it's going to be David Goggins content. Maybe the discipline word means it's going to be about discipline, but everyone knows David Goggins is disciplined. And then thirdly is the bio. So you want to give value. Now, our username and profile picture should be so good that they've already followed us, right? Because let's say you're posting David Goggins. You're using David Goggins hashtags, which means your content is getting put on the FYP of people that like David Goggins. So if that is the case, then if your profile picture and your username clearly suggest that you post David Goggins content, they should already be following you. But just in case, we're going to make the bio professional. So give value, give them a reason to follow you. How do we do that? Tell them you're going to be posting daily. The more, the better. Obviously, you don't want to be doing more than 6 posts a day, but just put how many you're going to be doing daily. So whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. That's just some value, and it's almost like from the viewer's perspective, well, you are giving them this for free as well. So that's a bonus. And when you list it out in your bio like this, that becomes more obvious that they're getting all this free stuff if they follow. So tell them why your content is especially great. Number one, Goggins account, life-changing motivation, stuff like that. You can obviously adapt this depending on the content you're posting. Tell them why they should follow you. Follow for more motivation. Follow for more stories. So you can be unique, you can come up with your own way. Those are just some examples from me. If you have any other ways to give some value, to give some better reasons to follow, then make sure you implement them. Of course, don't make your bios too long and make them look presentable, because if it's just a massive block of long, boring text, no one's going to want to read it. So ensure that you put times 3 daily posts, then use space, go a line underneath, sorry, and then put number 1 Goggins account, another space and line underneath, and then put follow for more stories. So it doesn't just look like a massive, long, boring line of text. And then you can decorate that if you want as well, just to make it a bit more attractive, like, add in whatever emojis to the end of each sentence, etc. If you follow all of the above, your viewer to follower conversion is going to be significantly amazing. And this is very true, and it has been experimented many times. Why? This is similar to what I explained earlier, because if your content ends up on someone's FYP and they like it, that means they want to see more of it. So the first thing they will look at, if they even consider following you, is your profile picture and username. If your username and profile picture is relevant to the content, they will assume you're going to have and post more of that same content, which is what they want, leading them to follow you or go onto your channel. Then they will see your bio, which is obviously where they gain many more reasons to follow. So, step 2.5, because this is just a quick one. Wait 24 hours after creating your accounts. Obviously, I'm now about to explain why we do this. During those 24 hours, interact with content in your niche. Why? So there's a few reasons. Firstly, you gain followers from your niche, which is going to give you a much better chance of getting positive interaction on your first few videos. So your aim is to get as many people in your niche following you back. And there are many ways you can do that. You can follow people in your niche, you can like comments, comment on videos, reply to certain comments, and once again, doing that all in your niche. So that if you're posting David Goggins content, you've already got, when you post your first video, 50 David Goggins fans following you. So then when you post your first video and you get good interaction instantly on your first ever video, the platform's probably going to put you into good standing, which means they're going to push your first few videos out. Let me rephrase that. They're going to push all of your videos out until your videos perform bad. So this is the best way to go viral very quickly, if you're posting viral worthy content. If you're not posting viral worthy content, then eventually after a few videos, the effect of this little process here is going to wear off. Because, you know, you could have David Goggins fans following you, but if your videos aren't good, then they're not going to watch it, even if it is of David Goggins. And then the second good thing about this is you act like a real user, and the platforms don't recognize you as a bot. So what a lot of people find is they create an account and they post in the first 24 hours or just in the first few hours of creating the account, and they get 0 views and they wonder why. That's because the platform is still processing your account because it's so new, and it needs to ensure that your account is not a bot account. And the best way for you to give the platform confidence, I guess you could say, that you're not a bot, is to do what a bot wouldn't do, which is interact with content in a human way. I think that's the best way to put it. So those are the main reasons for that. So ensure you wait 24 hours after creating your account, and in those 24 hours you interact with content in your niche. So step 3, posting process for all platforms. So firstly, we're going to do YouTube. The thumbnail for your YouTube shorts, thumbnails, it should be whatever part of the video projects the strongest emotion, so either that, or matches the title perfectly. If it matches the title, people will instantly trust that the video is actually going to deliver what you said in the title. If it's a strong emotion, people want to know why or how that emotion is there. So the emotion thing is just natural human psychology. When we see emotions, you know, when your family comes home and they're really angry or they're really sad, and you want to know why instantly, because that's just natural human psychology. We just need to know why. And then, of course, like I said, if it matches the title, people will trust that the video is actually going to deliver on what you've said in the title. So be sure to use one of those. Now, if it matches the title, a lot of the times you're going to find yourself using short overlays that you've used in the clip. So what I used to do, for example, let's say it's a video on how to get really strong, and it's just a guy speaking to the camera, and then in that video you have an overlay of someone deadlifting 10 billion kg, because why not? Then as an overlay, then you want to make that overlay the thumbnail in order for it to be relevant to the video. And then secondly, we have titles. Now these should be the same as the hook. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the hook because that's part of editing. But essentially, the hook should be the most exciting and interesting thing that happens in the video. Therefore, your title should also be the same. And the title must include the most popular and relevant keywords. If your niche content is on a person, include that person's name in every single video. Then any other popular topics in that video include in the title also. Excuse me. So, for example, if you're doing Joe Rogan, you're always posting a video of Joe Rogan, which means you want Joe Rogan in every single title. And then you also want to try and include the second most popular topic or keyword in the title that appears in the video. So, for example, if Joe Rogan is talking about bears, you want to word the title and the hook in a way that includes the keywords Joe Rogan and bear. And then thirdly is hashtags. Use 2 hashtags on every video following the same principle as the keywords in the titles. Keywords in the titles and hashtags should usually be the same. There should be one hashtag that is your niche / content that you use on every single video. For example, David Goggins account would use hashtag David Goggins on every video. Then you choose the second most relevant topic in that video. So let's say David Goggins is talking about a 200-mile race. You could put hashtag David Goggins, hashtag race. Or if Joe Rogan is talking about a bear again, you could put hashtag Joe Rogan, hashtag bear. So you can see how the title and hashtags and hook on YouTube all come together. Like everything is similar and the same. So that's the posting process for YouTube. And then for TikTok, now these are going to be simple because I've explained the bulk of what you need to know for hashtags in the YouTube. But for TikTok, you're just going to use the right hashtags, follow the same principles as YouTube, most relevant and largest topics in the video, but only use 4 hashtags. Remember, your content is going to get sent out to people that are interested in those hashtags. So if you use an irrelevant hashtag, you're almost guaranteeing that people skip your video. I can't really explain it much simpler than that, to be honest. Following the same principles as YouTube hashtags, but instead of using 2, you're using 4. And once again, Instagram is the exact same as YouTube titles, YouTube thumbnails, and YouTube hashtags, but the only difference is use as many hashtags as possible, following what we said for YouTube and TikTok hashtags. So it's got to be relevant, and it's got to be keywords and key topics in the video, but you're going to use as many as you possibly can that are relevant and have as many keywords and as many key topics that are in the video until there's no longer any more relevant hashtags to the video. So that's the posting process you're going to follow. And then lastly, we have step 4, the content schedule. So most importantly, minimum of 4 hours between every single post. Why do we do this? Because we want to avoid spam posting, which the platforms will mark us as a bot if we get seen spam posting. So you want at least 4 hours between every single post. Secondly, you want to do at least 2+ videos a day. If you really can't do 2 and you can only do 1, that's fine as long as you're consistent, as long as you're posting 1 every single day. It's like if you can't even do 1 every single day and you can only do 1 every other day, once again, it's not ideal, but it's still not impossible to go viral with, as long as you're posting consistently every single other day. But of course, you want to aim for 2+ videos a day with a minimum of a 4-hour gap between. Now, if you're doing 2+ videos a day, if you're doing 2 videos a day, you can put an 8-hour gap in between. You know, you can post when you wake up and you can post like 2-3 hours before you go to bed. If you're doing 3 videos a day, you can have like a 6-hour gap in between. And then if you're doing 4 videos a day, you'd probably want 4 hours between. So the idea is that however many videos you're doing, you want biggest possible gap between every single post that you can fit in with when you go to bed and when you wake up. And then lastly, post at the exact times every single day. Why? Because this builds an active audience every time you post. So when you post, your audience is active and instantly gives your videos positive interaction. So explain further, I've just put here, let me just give you an example. Let's say there's a large group of people that are interested in your content that are always active on their car ride home from school between 3 and half 3, or the bus ride home from school between half 3 and 4, scrolling on TikTok. And you post in between that time every single day. That means them people, they're going to start following you. And that means that when you post the next day after they've followed you, as soon as you post, they're going to be active and they're going to give your video positive interaction instantly, which is going to make the platform push your video out quicker, faster, etc. So that's why you want to post at the exact time every day, so that in a few months, when you've built up tons of followers that are active at the exact same time, it will get to the point that whenever you post at that time, your videos just do insane views. So that's what you want to aim for. So that is everything for the strategy to go viral. Now, if you do really want to learn more and you're seriously interested in learning how to go viral, then check the link in my bio and make sure you join Growth Academy, where we teach you everything. I'm not going to explain everything about it in this video, but if you do want to learn about it, what it is, etc., if you go to the link, there's a 20 to 25-minute video of me showing everything that you get inside Growth Academy. So I can't wait to see you guys inside, and I'll see you guys in the next video.